involvement there.
That day, June 4th, has been well documented. Is there anything that the public doesn't know about that day?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, everybody has held on to that story that came out initially, whether it's the first, second, or third version of Terry's timeline, or fourth or fifth. And the reality is super simple. Terry got to the school around 8:10, 8:15. It was before any other parent was in the school. It was before Miss Porter was in her classroom or had her classroom unlocked. That is strategic because Terry was walking around the school checking security aspects at the school before she ever walked around with Kyron. Terry also pulled Kyron out of the teacher chaperoned group. As you know, schools are very strategic about teaching kids something. So the science fair was not just about visiting with friends. It was about teaching them something. They had a questionnaire. They had to walk around with a teacher chaperoned group. They had to answer all the questions specific to the different exhibits so that they were learning at the same time they were having a little bit of entertaining fun. But the reality is that Terry walked around with Kyron to these other classrooms. She went to 3 classrooms. She walked up the gym stairs, walked down the hallway with Kyron to Miss Porter's classroom, which was the last stop. She took the photo of Kyron in front of his diorama and 2 of Kyron's friends. And she walked out the school with Kyron at that very moment. It is witnessed by people who were outside the school who know Kyron, his friends, their parents, their grandparents, and siblings. So we know that Terry walked out the school with Kyron and walked toward the truck. That is where he disappears. It's that simple. It's not complicated. Kyron was with one person that day and one person was in charge of him. And that's the reality of what happened that day. She did everything to try and structure that day so that she could do this. She had planned it. She planned it months in advance. We know that she was out driving the roads, scoping sites. We know this because her car was very memorable. Eyewitnesses account for her all over the roads of Northwest Portland. And I believe she was testing cell phone signal as well to see where she would drop off of cell coverage.
How would she do that?
Just driving around, checking her phone, because we know that she was outside a cell signal, and when that phone pinged at 11 a.m., she came back into signal.
You'd mentioned several people saw her leave the school that day. Remind me of who that was.
His friend Carson, his grandma, and
Carson's
his
grandma?
sister. Yep. Mm-hmm. And then also the school bus driver, actually Kyron's bus driver, encountered Terry as she was leaving.
Did they see Terry get in the truck and actually leave the property, or just?
They didn't see her get in the truck. We do have an eyewitness on Skyline that says she got in the truck with someone else being in the truck. But they don't see her walking and getting in the truck, that full thing, because of where she was parked on Skyline, it was hidden. But they see Kyron walking with Terry as if they were walking together, not holding hands, but walking next to each other, going the same direction.
What is the message now?
I think it's the same. I think it's don't lose hope, don't give up. How many stories have we seen kids coming home 20 years later? Obviously, this is not a sprint, it's been a marathon, and I think it's going to continue to be, and hopefully it's resolved tomorrow. But until it is, we have to stay vigilant. We got to keep doing what we've been doing and say don't give up and keep grinding. I can't think of another way.
What does closure look like for you?
Bringing them home. Bringing them home. And I don't know what that means, but bringing them home.
When I'm 90, I'm still going to cry over this. This is something that changed our entire lives. You never move on fully from that. You don't get to a point where you get to say, oh, we get to close that door and move on to something else. It's a constant, and it's earth-shattering. I mean, it's just not something that you ever come back from.